Hey guys, so today we're gonna cover interior elevations, and on your screen you'll see a sample of an interior elevation, and typically these are not included in the permit set that you would actually submit to the city, in part because it takes a lot more time, and usually we start to do the interior after we submit for plan check. Because the city doesn't really care whether you have a picture frame here or a round window. They just want to know that you have a bathroom. So again, it's not really included in our building permit set, but obviously in the construction set, it gets included. And we're going to talk about interior elevations. So in a sense here, generally speaking, you're going to have an enlarged floor plan. So this particular one is in the 3/8, I think, scale. Typically, I like it about a 1/2 inch scale, but obviously this person was trying to fit it in a 11 by 17, so I'm okay with that too. But typically it's a 1/2 inch, and so you have an enlarged plan, and within the enlarged plan, you're going to show elevations of the walls that you want to kind of communicate. So in this bathroom, we're going to show all 4 walls, and in this laundry room, we're only showing just this wall, because this wall there's not a whole lot going on, and these 2 walls there's not a whole lot going on. So you need an enlarged plan, and then you're going to create interior elevation. Now traditionally interior elevation actually stops at this line here, at the interior finish of the space. In this case they just cut through the whole the whole wall, and so this is okay. But typically and traditionally it stops at the finish. So here, and this is a crown molding, and then right above that will be the line of the drywall, so that finishes right there, and it finishes right at the floor line, and it should technically finish right at this line, which is easy to do. You just move your Revit, cropping plane into the wall. So I'm going to show you guys how to set up a standard elevation. What you will see is that you will have to go back and edit, textures where the tiles are going to be, where it's just regular drywalls and things like that. Another thing here is these annotations. Now you can annotate it however way you want it, but A is accessory, so accessory number 11, accessory number 12, and typically we'll create a schedule that says accessory 12 is towel bar, model number whatever, chrome color or white color. This is a towel hook, so accessory number 11 is, whatever the description that is. So you can create a schedule for all of these kind of callouts. FIX is fixture, so this is obviously a shower head, a hand wand, and then a mixer. A mixer is a lever that mixes hot and cold water together. So when you go and buy bath fixtures, a lot of these things are sold separately. So fixture 16, fixture 14, fixture 20, the bath filler fixture 18, the bathtub fixture 22. So that's what these FIX means. The T is tile number 9, tile number 6. That way then we don't have to call out specific, meaning if the client goes, I think we should get a different tile, we just say tile number 9 and we just change it on the schedule. We don't have to change the call outs and go back to the drawings. These are kind of basically keynoted. So, and then P is just paint 1, paint 2, paint 3, different colors. Let me see. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Tile. L for light, A for accessory, H for hardware. I'm not sure what the CG is. Oh, cabinet, grade 3. So anyhow, you guys will have to add much of these kind of details. Now you guys can get families, download families, but be careful because it could make your Revit file quite large. And also, I don't want your design, let's say you're working in the real world, I don't want your design to be limited to whichever manufacturer actually has a Revit family. Obviously that's convenient, but if you wanted a particular light, they don't have a Revit family, you're going to have to draw that in. Or have kind of a symbolic, maybe just a rectangular bar, and you just call it LT6, and then when you go to the schedule, you can actually have a photo of that light, right? So you're just trying to communicate, right? So it doesn't have to be exact, but at the same time, you know, getting it closer is better than not. Obviously, these are just kind of, you know, ambiance accessories to make the elevation look nicer. You know, this one, you know, it's really just got a hatch around it. And if you want a particular tile pattern and Revit doesn't have it, you'll have to draw that in. I mean, literally draw that in. So, and obviously you guys can create your own kind of pattern family and things like that. So, but long story short, to make the elevations look nice, you'll have to draw that in. A couple of things that this is missing that I'd like to add is, for instance, what is the height of this tile bar? I mean, you know, the contractor would need that information. Obviously, they can guess, but you want to try to say, hey, you know, mount the tile bar, you know, 42 inches off the finished floor. Mount the light, you know, 6 feet off the finished floor, 7 feet off the finished floor. So you want kind of vertical information for things that they need to, you know, decide on the field. For instance, this niche. Well, how tall is it? You know, where does it start? Do we know if this is too high? Right now, right offhand, it seems kind of high for me. It seems like it's right at the 5-foot level. So maybe it's a little bit high. Not sure, but it's a design call. And during elevation is when you can hit all of those kind of issues. So, and then here, you know, what is the height? The water actually comes out through here. So where do you want the plumber to put that particular valve? Where do you want that valve to be? Where do you want this valve to be? So having vertical information on all of these fixtures will be an added kind of professionalism to your elevations. So I'm not going to detail out the whole thing, but I'm going to show you how to do an enlarged plan and then create, you know, some basic elevation detailing. So here's our plan, and I know that this is a master bath, so you know, obviously it's not detailed yet, so you'll need to put a cabinet and things like that in there. So let's go ahead and pop those in so that at least it'll help us with the elevations. So if I put toilet, and I don't have toilets loaded here because this is completely Revit out of the box, so we're going to go ahead and insert a couple of stuff. So a couple of things I want to insert is casework. I want to insert countertops. So let's take, I don't like to bring in things with the sink and everything embedded in it. It just adds too much information, but maybe in your case it might be easier. Well, no, but that's a kitchen sink. So I'll bring that in. And then let me load just a regular countertop. Alright, so I think I'm ready. Put in the toilet seat here. I think this was going to be an open shower. So I'm not quite sure. I don't remember what the design was, and I don't mind you guys designing out the bathroom yourself, whether there was a double sink or not. Now, if this is a double sink, obviously you have to change the family, which is not easy to do. I would just kind of draw another one in here, but you know, take it for what it is. And then obviously this is going to have a tile floor. Now you guys can't put in a floor that has a tile material, you know, and then that'll make your life easier. but you're limited to kind of what Revit has. But let's kind of do, well, no, let's not do that quite yet. We'll just kind of go through the elevations here. So, the first thing I like you to do is just call out this area and kind of make an enlarged plan out of it. So we're going to come here to view and then do a call out. And then we do that. And what that does is that it creates another view, a drawing with a call out. Right? So if I double click on this, it goes to another drawing right here. So I can hide some of the stuff that I don't want to see in my drawing. And usually the callouts are at 1/2 inch scale, which is what I like. And then that way, when I put in an elevation mark here, for instance, it's a small, it's a good size. So with this elevation mark, I can say I want to see that. Maybe I want to see that because maybe I have cabinets. Maybe I want to see that one there. This one's probably not as important. Alright, so now that I have the basic stuff set up, let me just kind of explain to you these elevation marks. So this elevation meaning they're standing at this line, looking this way that deep. Well, you don't need to look that deep. And you notice that the elevation naturally goes from inside wall to inside wall. That's what we want. And at this point, it's a drafter's choice on whether they want to go from, they want to do all the way into the shower area, or, maybe you want another separate elevation for the shower and this wall. If you have, like, for instance, detailing around here, obviously this elevation isn't going to catch it. But anyhow, I don't mind it, and I'm going to just kind of leave it there. So, and then this elevation, this is the call that you need to make. Do you want to show details here, or do you want to show details along here? I'm just going to leave it here for our demonstration sakes. So I'll just do something like that. Double click on here. Now I'm at this elevation. You can see the Revit default, there's very little detailing here, right? We just have their cabinet top. Unless you put base cabinets in here, you won't see anything. And in our case, let's just kind of leave it like that. And then maybe this is a tile. So let's first deal with this side here. And you're going to probably have some tile base here with the little curb, and then you walk down to your tile so that you can keep the water in your shower area. So all of those things will be handled through detail lines. Maybe you want your curb to be, 2 inches. So you're going to draw in the curb. And then you draw in a little tile slope. So you could do something like that, right? This is going to be a tile wall, so you can actually draw in the tile wall, or you can hatch, depending on whether they have the hatch that you want. So, for instance here, I'm just going to hatch it like this. Take away my window. Yeah, I'll take it away from here. So I have my hatch, right? Of course, you guys know how to change your hatch pattern. So you can come in here, and then you can come up here, get tile patterns that you like. They do have additional patterns that you guys can download, but in general, I would keep it relatively simple, unless you had a client that was wanting to know exactly what that particular tile looks like, then you'll have to draw it in. Or create your own hatch pattern. Here, if you have base cabinets in here, obviously the base cabinets will show. But if you didn't have it and you were doing a custom cabinet, let's say it's a floating cabinet, with a hole in it and things like that, then you'll definitely need to detail it out yourself. You would have to do a horrible job of doing cabinet drawings, but you would have to draw your cabinets and whatever handles that you have, and maybe this is a towel rack and things like that, or tile storage. Maybe this is just an open shelf. Yeah, so that, so it's whatever you guys are going to do for your elevation. And then for the faucets and things like that, I try not to get too detailed just because it's, there's so many different types of faucets out there. So, I might just draw a symbol like that and just call it out, fixture number 14. And then of course mirrors. Mirrors come in all shapes and sizes, so you would actually have to pick the mirror and kind of draw that in, or just draw a generic circle or a rectangle. In this case, let's say we're going to take a mirror all the way across. I would just draw a square and draw the mirror. And of course lights, if you have lights, up here, we'll do the lights, multiple lights and things like that. Obviously you don't want these lines coming all the way across, but it really depends on how much you want to time, how much time you want to put in your elevations. Alright, so I'm going to give you a basics of it, but please call out all the materials that you see, very similar to the sample where I should know, technically she should have called out pink color here, so it would have been P4 or whatever that is. So basically, what is that? What is that? What is that? What is that? You gotta ask yourself that. Also the toilet, right? That one should have a fixture marker. She may somewhere. Yeah, she has fixture 8, so we're fine. So obviously you don't want to have to call it out in, twice. So basically you just want to try to call out things once, if at all possible. And she does have the pink color P3, so I imagine that's also going to be P3. Alright, so anyhow, give me an elevation of the kitchens, and this sample that I've actually uploaded on the module for you guys has sample of the elevations. If you want to match the elevations exactly, I don't mind. Just technically I want you guys to go through it. So good luck, and you have the sample here, you have the demo. We'll see you guys next week.